everyone. This is the Jeff Cowan coming to you from thejeffcowan.com with my weekly podcast entitled Success in Sales and Life in General. And I want to give you a big hearty welcome back because you keep coming back, and boy, the audience is growing, and I'm excited about all of that, and you are going to be excited about this week's topic. You know, because I listen to your phone calls, I read your texts, I read your emails, and there's a large number of you that are struggling out there when closing your sales because when you're asking for the money, your customers are responding back with, I think your price is too high. I think your price is too high. And you're wondering, what do you do in that scenario? Because whatever you're doing, according to your texts and emails, isn't working. Now, this is a common objection, and if you've been in sales for just 15 minutes, you're likely to have heard this objection. All right, now there's two basic reasons someone tells you they think your price is too high. A, they really think it's too high, or B, they're wanting you to discount, wanting to see what your expression is going to be so they can see if they can get more money off. Now, today, I think it's more the latter than the former. I don't think a lot of people come in not loaded up with information, so when they say it's too high and they're surprised by it. What I'm saying here is I think most people do what you do and what I do, and that is before I go out and shop for a new product or service, I Google it. I get online and do research. So by the time I leave my house, I have a pretty good understanding of who does what they charge for it, how long it's going to take to get it, and the like. And I think most of your customers are in the same department there. So today, when they say, I didn't think it was going to be that much, I don't think it's because they really believe that. I think it's because they're trying to open up negotiations to see if you'll drop your price. Okay? Now, there's three things that I really like when somebody says this. Now, there are literally dozens and dozens of ways to handle this objection, but the three most effective I've seen are the following ones. And I'm going to explain to you why I like them and what they do for you. So, next time somebody says, I think your price is too high, here's what I usually start off with. Number one, based on what? Based on what? Now, when you look back at them and say, based on what you've done is you've just batted the ball back across the net, if you will, and you put the ball in their court, and it forces them to do one of three things. Based on what? Okay, A, it forces them to identify what they feel is missing. Well, we thought for that type of fee, it might include this or that. So what they're telling you is that there's something else they thought the product or service should have. So here's what's great about that. Your product probably does that, does that, and maybe you didn't talk about it. Okay? Or maybe you didn't talk about it because you felt it wasn't important to them. Maybe you misread your customer. Or you talked about it and they missed it, or you talked about it and you didn't build enough value in that area. So you simply would go back to that area, assuming your product does that, and build more value in it. If your product doesn't do that, explain why they don't need it to do that. B, when you look at somebody and say, based on what? B, it flushes out the budget. Okay? It just flushes out the budget. We just didn't feel it was going to be that much. So what they're telling you is you didn't build enough value in your product. And then finally, C, based on what, tells you what's most important to them. Okay, well, for that type of price, we thought it was going to do this or this. Now, this is different than A, okay, because you've talked about it, but what C tells you is this is what's most important to them, or at least one of the most important things to them when looking at your product is maybe one of the biggest reasons they're there. So that's the reason I like that one, because it gives you a lot of information, it gets them to talk. All right, now there's two other things you can do, but before I get into those, I want to talk to you about this. This is this book called What I've Learned from Attending Over 35 Indy 500s, Lessons in Sales, Management, Motivation, Leadership, and Life in General. The book is literally becoming a national bestseller as we're sitting here. I mean, it's literally flying off the shelves. And I self-published this book, and I've got several publishers now contacting me wanting to republish it for me because the book is doing that well. It's a great book if you're an individual, you want to improve your life situation, your sales, your leadership skills, motivation management. It's a great one to have. It's set up where I tell you a story of something that happened at the speedway or on the track or during the race to one of the drivers, to one of the cars, and I show you what the lesson learned is. I show you how I applied it to my life, and then I give you some points to ponder. So it's great for any individual. It's, with it being graduation season, it's great for young graduates too. If you're a business owner looking for a book that's going to, you could have your employees get involved in, this is a great one. You can get it in hardcover, it comes in soft cover, there is an e-edition of it for your readers. We're soon going to have an audio version of it, I'm finishing up recording that, and we're also going to have a video series to come out that's going to have 10 hours of content, 10 hours of content and testing and all that stuff. Great book. You want to get it, you can get it at thejeffcowan.com, or you can get it at all the reliable sources like Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Apple, all the like. It's a great book, you should get it. I think you will enjoy it. A lot of people are. As a matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do. It's summer. What the heck? You know what? Tomorrow's 4th of July. So here's my 4th of July special. You go to thejeffcowan.com. I'll tell you what I'll do better. You dial 1-800-248-2931, 1-800-248-2931, and we'll give you $5 off of any version of that book, with the exception of the e-reader. That's through Amazon, and I don't even think they're charging $5 for it. So there you go. All right, back to this. We were talking about what to do when you're making your presentation. You ask for the money, and somebody tells you they think your price is too high. Now, we already discussed that the first comeback should be based on what, and I explained to you why that's a good one. So let's get into number 2, because I like this one too. Compared to who or what? Well, you know what? I just think your price is too high. Compared to who or what? Now, this one's great because, again, it forces them to talk and it tells you what they're thinking. For example, they could say, well, last time we only paid. All right? Well, last time, when was last time? Was last time yesterday? Was last time a month ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? I mean, last time we paid this? So most of the time they say that, there's going to be quite a bit of distance in time, for a year or more, 2 or 3 years. Well, last time we've only paid. Well, Mr. Customer, well, last time, when was last time? Well, it was 3 years ago. Then all you do is you just explain the differences and what's happened in the last 3 years, the increase in technology, the increase in service, the increase of whatever it is, or what's more. What they're asking you there is I don't see why I'm paying more for something I think is the same thing. You know, I used to get this all the time in retail. Well, based on what? Well, last time we bought a living room set, you know, a new set of furniture for our living room, we only invested $2,500, and it was really high quality. This is $1,000 above that. Okay, well, when was the last time you bought furniture for your living room? 15 years ago. Well, folks, a lot's changed in 15 years. So again, last time they may respond that way. Or B, tells you if they're shopping. Well, compared to who or what? Well, compared to your competitor down the street. So now you know you've got somebody shopping, so now you really need to turn up the heat. Or C, it tells you who they're comparing you to. Now, this is important because once they tell you who they're comparing you to, this is one of the easiest sells to get because you just explain the differences. Okay, now to do that, you must know not only your product inside and out, but you need to know your top competitors and their products inside and out. And you say, well, how do I know who my top competitors are? Because your people will tell you by asking that question. Everybody's got 3 or 4, sometimes as many as 10 different competitors, and I don't care how many you have, you need to know what each one of them are doing, what their products are, and the likes. And then you just basically share why with them your product has more value than them. Maybe you offer more services. Maybe your services is better. Maybe your product has higher quality. Whatever it is, they're just, and now notice on any of these, they're not telling you I'm leaving because your price is too high. They're just telling you I think your price is too high, and really what they're doing is ask a question, why should I pay what I think is more? And then they'll tell you if you ask and use one of these methods. All right, so number 1, based on what? Number 2, compared to who or what? Number 3, what do you think it was going to be? Oh, I think your price is too high. Really? Well, what do you think it was going to be? Now, I like this one too because it does a couple things. Once they tell you, okay, now, and by the way, don't let anybody get away, because a lot of times you'll say, well, what did you think it was going to be? And a lot of times people think they let themselves off the hook by looking back at you and say, well, I didn't think it was going to be that. Well, you must have thought it was going to be something. Don't let them off the hook. Drill it down. Okay, why did you think it was going to be this? So drill it down. Okay, well, not that. Well, what did you think it was going to be? Once they give you the number, understand this. Let's say that your product out there, let's do something big. Let's say your product is $10,000. All right? And they look back and they say, well, we thought it was going to be 9. Now, you see, the sale to be made here is not for $10,000. The sale to be made here is not for $9,000. They've already committed. They've already told you they've got $9,000. The sale to be made here is the difference between what they thought it was going to be and what you're asking. So in that scenario, it'd be, you just got to convince them to spend $1,000 more. It's a whole lot easier when you look at it through those eyes. All I got to do is convince them to spend $1,000 more instead of $10,000. They've already given you the 9. You see what I'm saying here? So once you see what the difference is, that's all the amount that you're closing on. So once they tell you, it just becomes a job of closing on the difference in the amount. Or B, what you can do is they say, you know, what did you think it was going to be? And you can say, well, I'm sorry you thought it was going to be that, but for what you're looking at and the quality that we offer, and just go back down your list of benefits, the quality we offer, the service we offer, this, and this, you know, that's really what it is. So I guess what we could do if we wanted to meet your budget and get close to that, we could take off some of the options, or we could go down 1 or 2 levels and maybe get you entry level, get you in the door, and then build from there. Now, again, remember, I think, you know, today when people come in and say they think your price is too high, in the past, there used to be a lot more of they just didn't know, all right? But today, the second reason I think people give you this is because they're trying to get you to negotiate and see what your response is going to be, because most salespeople aren't trained, and when people say that, they start pulling out coupons, they start dropping their price, and that's exactly what the customer expects to have happen. Because again, I think your customers are just like you and me, and before they ever step out of their house, they Google, they research, and they have a pretty good idea of who they're talking to and how good your product is. They have a pretty good idea and already believe that your product may suit their need, and they pretty much have a pretty good idea of what it is that you're charging before they walk in. So again, I think it's more of a negotiation tactic, but that's 3 very good ways to do it. Again, based on what, or compared to who or what did you think it's going to be? There's probably another dozen we could talk about if we wanted to, but we just don't have time because I like to keep these podcasts quick, straight to the point, get you the information so you can get on with your life. So with that, that's what I did. Now, my name's Jeff Cowan from thejeffcowan.com. I thank you for watching today. I want you to do me a favor. Tomorrow's the 4th of July. Please be safe. Please celebrate. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your family. Make it a great day. And between now and next week, when you come back, go out and find as many customers as you can. Get them excited about your product. Get them so excited that they want to give you full pop for it so you can get all the commission that you deserve, so you can live the life you deserve, all the life that this great nation on the July 4th, we're celebrating, all the great life that this nation promises one. Because between now and next week, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a great day tomorrow on the 4th of July with my friends and family. Can't wait for it to happen. It's always one of my favorite days of the year. And then in the meantime, between now and next week, I'm going to find as many customers as I can. I'm going to get them excited about my product, and I'm going to close them because I'm a closer, and I'm going to enjoy that commission and all the lifestyle that it provides. Hey, my name is The Jeff Cowan from thejeffcowan.com. I'll see you next week. Have a good one, folks. It's a great day.